Hello guys and welcome back to Thailand Adventures with Dan. Today I want to talk about what it's like to really live in Thailand after being here for several years. What's the day-to-day life really like? Before we kick off guys, if you haven't already subscribed then please drop a subscription. Really appreciate it and it'll really help with the channel. I've lived in Thailand now for almost 6 years. I spent 3 years living in the tourist places like Pattaya, Chiang Mai for example. Lived on an island, a lot of other places as well. I moved around a lot, trying to learn the Thai culture, the Thai people, and just seeing what life was like in different areas of Thailand. And for the last 3 years, I've lived in Isan in Thailand, in Buriram, if you've heard of it. It's a very rural place here, like a countryside kind of lifestyle. So guys, when you watch a lot of the Thailand vlogs, you'll see people, they tend to be in holiday places, you know, having a great time, going for parties on rooftops, going out to the beach, jumping over to the islands. But when you live here, that kind of lifestyle gets boring extremely fast. And once you stop treating the place as a holiday place and you decide that, yeah, I'm living here, then you obviously want to settle, find somewhere to live and live a very normal life here in Thailand, just like you would back home in your own country. Now, one of the main problems I've noticed over the past 6 years, especially speaking to a lot of foreigners, is that the main issue seems to be that because they don't have a job, they get very, very, very bored living in Thailand. It does get a little bit depressing for some people. I think that's one of the main reasons why you'll see a lot of expats in bars socialising with other expats, because there's not much to do when you don't have a job. Now, obviously, guys, there's different types of foreigners that live in Thailand. You'll have the people that work online like myself, so you'll have a bit of work to do each and every day. You'll have other people that have retired over here in Thailand, so they can't work. So their day can be quite difficult if they don't have hobbies or interests over in Thailand. So, guys, it's extremely important that you find something to do with your time each and every day, just like you would back home. But obviously, if you can't work, then I know that things can get really difficult. So you've got to get into gardening, you've got to get into fishing, you've got to get into something that you can do each and every day just to pass the time and something that you enjoy. It's very tempting for a lot of people to go to the bars and socialise, but I see so many expats becoming alcoholics just due to boredom. You know, it's boring at home. There's nothing much to do. You know, the Thai people, especially like in the rural places in Thailand, in Isan, you know, they tend to, what they've done for years, they'll get up, they'll have some food, they'll clean and sweep around, and then they'll socialise with family members or friends all while sitting and eating Isan food or Thai food. Now, if you don't speak Thai, you know, this can become extremely boring for you because you've got nothing to talk about and you just sat there like a sore thumb, you know, like a wet lettuce or however you want to put it. And you just feel out of place. So it's very easy to jump in your car or jump on your bike and go over to the local bar where there's other expats there to talk to, and at least it gives you something to do. But the problem is, like I've already said, is that you can very quickly start drinking, become an alcoholic, make silly mistakes, do silly things, and it causes a lot of problems between you and your Thai partner as well, because you'll be coming home either half sloshed or fully sloshed, and it'll cause a lot of dramas in your relationship, which I'm sure that some people that are watching this, they probably will agree and go, yeah, it's caused me a lot of problems, etc., etc. Now, for people that have retired over here that are just living on a normal basic pension, the prices of Thailand now are very different to what they used to be many years ago. It's a lot more expensive now. And in some ways, some things are a lot more expensive than back home. So your money doesn't stretch as far or as much as it used to do. So it becomes more and more important to make sure that you find hobbies and interests that don't cost too much money, that you can do each and every day and try and live a normal life. And then, hey, it's great. You know, you're living in a tropical climate. It's very relaxed here. The people are different. It's a lot more chilled. There's so many positive things about Thailand, especially compared back to, if I compare it to England back home, here is like such a nicer, warmer, more beautiful place to live. You know, I find England very, very ugly, but it is a very beautiful country. It's the people inside of it that I have a problem with. Obviously, not everybody's bad guys back home in England, but I like to be honest. I don't like to lie for views or anything. I just like to be straight and just tell the truth. So yeah, over here it's different. You know, burglaries, theft, bullying, just so many things, guys. That's very different to back home. It's a lot more peaceful, basically. So it's a much better way of life. But the problem is, like I say, so many expats turn into alcoholics over here, and it's something that you need to be conscious of and try to make sure that you don't fall into that yourself. Apart from that, guys, the negatives, let's jump onto the positives. You know, living in Thailand, there's always some place to go. There's always somewhere to go to see. There's always a lot of nice places, a lot of nice coffee shops, which you'll probably see on my channel. There's a lot of things to do. The people are really lovely, really nice, very friendly, very warm. And if you get a good Thai partner, then it makes everything absolutely perfect. But this is where we get issues as well, is with people choosing the wrong Thai partners. Now, guys, something really important you need to learn and you need to understand very, very fast. I don't want to drone on about it too much, so I'll jump into this one quickly. A lot of the Thai women that you meet in the bars or in the clubs or in the holiday places where you're at, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, Phuket, you know, Bangkok, you'll find that a lot of the women are from poor villages, and a lot of them are from Isan, you know, where I am right now. And their lives are very, very different compared to what your life was like growing up. Here in Isan, a lot of the young girls, young Thai girls, you know, they're used to waking up, eating, cleaning up, sleeping all day, just sitting, socializing with friends, having a couple of beers and just eating together as a group. And that's what they tend to do day in, day out, day in, day out, unless they have a job. Then obviously it's a bit different. But for a lot of them, if they don't have a degree, they've not been to university, they're very limited to what jobs they can have in Thailand. And the only kind of options is like factory work, which is a really popular one. But then you've got to go to Bangkok, work stupid hours for very little money, and you can't support your family or anything with that kind of salary. So they don't have benefits in Thailand. You have to understand there is no free money. Yeah, the way Thailand works is that the children look after the parents. Okay, the parents look after the grandparents. Yeah, but everything will fall onto the children, the people that are most capable to go out and earn money, and they're the people that support their elders. And that's how it's worked in Thailand for many years. Okay, so you have to understand that a lot of the women that you meet in, a lot of them will have children even of their own, and the mother's currently looking after those children. So they have to pay the mother to support the mum, pay the bills back home for looking after the children, support the children. There's a lot of money that's needed. Do you know what I mean? And you will find that they're the type of women that you're meeting in the bars, in the clubs, etc., in the holiday places. They've come out to the holiday place for one reason and one reason only, to find money to be able to support their families back home. So you have to understand and appreciate that when somebody's doing that, they're doing it for those reasons, they're going to be nice to you. You're going to have that promotion period where everything's lovely and warm and they tell you I love you after like a couple of days or a week. And everything's going to be very fast paced. And you've got to understand that, yeah, they might like you. Yeah, they might love you, but they're there for the main reason. And the main reason is to generate money to be able to support the families. So you've got to be very wise, very careful on who you choose to be your partner, especially if you're going to decide to live here, buy a house here, buy land here. You've got to be very careful, guys, super careful, because that's where a lot of foreigners go wrong. You know, they get the wrong type of woman that never liked them, never loved them, just literally was there to get money off that person. And once the promotion period ended, then they started to realize that that person wasn't that beautiful, cute, warm, tirak person that they met before. This person's quite cold, quite hard, not loving, not warm, not friendly. And then you start to feel depressed, then you start going to the bars, then you start becoming an alcoholic. It just all spirals out of control, and I've seen it happen a lot. So just make sure that you be careful, guys, and if you are going to find a woman, in Thailand and you're going to settle down, just be very careful of who you choose. Make sure you can read them and understand them, and you make the right choice, because it can really make a big impact on your quality of life here. A massive impact by choosing the right partner. It can make or break your happiness here in Thailand. My advice to you as well is that if you have a girlfriend or a wife here in Thailand and they're young enough to be able to work, make them work. Don't feel like you're just an ATM, you're just somebody that supplies money and that's all you're fit for. Do you know what I mean? You want to feel like you're in a good, proper, loving relationship, and get your wife, get your girlfriend, and help her, if you have to try to earn her own money, make her own money, feel proud of herself, be able to, if she wants to go to the coffee shop or buy herself a new top or some new shoes, that she's been able to make that money herself, to be able to do that for herself, rather than you just giving cash and just feeling like that guy, like you are an ATM. You've got to try and break that, and really help them and push them to work and have a normal relationship with your Thai partner here. Okay guys, just a quick video today anyway. If you've got any comments, please drop them down. I'll answer any questions that you've got. Any stories that you've got that you want to share yourself from living here in Thailand, I'd love to hear from you. Apart from that, thanks for watching. This is Thailand Adventures with Dan, and I will see you on the next one, guys.